Hi guys, this is Saksham Garg from the class of 2013 and I work as an editor at Penguin Random House, the book publishers. But it is about my own novel. I'll give you a few seconds. Samsara, um, that I want to talk to you today. It is a fantasy novel set in the Himalayas and follows uh, an adventure story and a modern protagonist into a magical realm with a unique Indian magical system. And simultaneously, the book also explores the answers to some universal questions about the idea of God. Um, but I first thought of this idea uh, 10 years ago, running around the Chakkar up in Landur during my time in Missouri. And over the last decade, I have worked on different stages of this book. And it even features a map of the magical world, heavily inspired by the Woodstock campus and the surrounding areas. But this short excerpt that I want to read today is the introduction to the primary magic system in the book. And it comes from the protagonist of a solitary child in this secluded magical world. Time was running out. She needed to practice and be ready. With bright scarlet flowers giving her company, she started a combination of asanas, yoga postures, by bending forward. She shifted her weight to her palms and arched her back until she looked like a downward facing dog. Only then was her yoga ready to be taken to the next step. Idhika sat and straightened her back. Next, she closed her eyes, rested her knuckles on her knees, and formed a Jnana Mudra, a sacred hand gesture with her fingers. Taking a deep breath, she began to meditate. Just as Father taught me, she noted wryly. Her mind kept thinking of Gurukul. If the new souls bested her at anything, she would never be able to live it down. So she focused on her breathing until there was nothing but the sensation of Vayu passing through her lungs. In from the nose, out from the mouth, she told herself. When Idhika was close to the moment she awaited, she was disturbed by a tickling on her thigh. It took her a while, her eyes still shut, to realize that it was a caterpillar inching up her skin, annoyingly keeping her away from her yoga. She felt guilty when she moved her hand and brushed the caterpillar away, but it paid off. As soon as she found herself slowly receding from the edges of her physical body. The world surrounding her was inviting, and she felt the familiar weightlessness that signified a deep meditative state. Here we go, she told herself. She was finally within reach, but the need for a companion remained. It couldn't be done alone. Idhika's Atma, soul, searched with warmth, approaching a butterfly that wouldn't let her in, a ladybug that flew away at the request, a mongoose that was too far away. She was ignored by all those she approved. Then she remembered the caterpillar. Idhika couldn't see it, but could hear the slightest movements of its prolegs against a tall leaf in front of her. With eyes closed, navigating through the world of sounds, Idhika's Atma approached the caterpillar speculatively. Namhe Krita, she greeted it. As soon as the insect responded, Idhika leapt, summoning every bit of her willpower. She pushed for that final step. Darkness surrounded her. She felt as if she had shed her skin. For a second, her bones went limp, and then her soul was set free from between her eyes. It drifted towards the caterpillar and pierced it. Idhika had achieved Atma Yoga. She now occupied the insect's body, its flesh, skin, and consciousness. The caterpillar acknowledged her command, stretching and contracting its tiny muscles at her bidding. And when finally Idika opened her eyes, she had 12 of them. You'd think an insect with 12 eyes would have good eyesight, but as Idika looked through the caterpillar's eyes, she could only see a blurred image of her own physical body sitting a little away, her back straight and eyes shut in tranquility.